Welcome back to Living Local. Our next guest is a social media sensation, host of the Nameless Best Friends podcast, artist, and now author of the new book, The Other Side of Now. Please welcome to Living Local, direct from California, Paige Harbison. Hey, welcome back to the show. I appreciate you being here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Tristan.
Yeah, you were here last holiday season too, and it's just always a pleasure. And you know, like so many creatives, you do so many things. You're a writer, an artist, content creator, and so much more. How do you rock so much at the same time? Because I find myself struggling with that as well.
Oh, inelegantly, but I try. It's funny because I'm a millennial, and when we were all like in college, I feel like they were like, you can only be one thing at a time. So that was actually the first time I got published. And I thought I couldn't be an actor anymore, I was a theater major, so I dropped it.
Right.
And now I kind of found my way back to doing everything that I have liked doing. And, you know, you actually have a lot of time when your life is as an artist. So.
Yeah, you have so much time to fill it with other things. And, you know, you've gained a huge following online for your hilarious and heartfelt takes on the Hallmark film franchise. What inspired that? Because I know my wife and I send those back and forth to each other constantly, and I share them a lot too. It's so funny. But what was your inspiration to kind of start doing that?
My Hallmark movies in 1 minute began because I have always watched Hallmark movies with my mom, and my mom's also an author, Paige Harbison, and one of her books was actually turned into a Christmas movie. It was Shoe Addict's Christmas, if anyone wants to go find it. But so we've just always put them on, and I don't want to say made fun of them, but we put them on and question, you know, what is happening? And it's just, they're so funny. And, you know, they're really in on the joke these days, which is fun.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, in the beginning, I just was starting to make content, again, kind of finding my way back to performing, because I was like, I don't know, for a long time I didn't post on social media because I was like, imagining this audience of friends I used to make fun of things with making fun of me, which I think is a hugely common thing. So if that's your thing, just push through it and do it anyway, because you know, I'm really glad I did. And I did one, and then it popped off, and I was like, oh, I can keep doing this forever. It's the most iterative thing there is. So it's like no one's ever going to be like, wait, this is sort of similar to last week. Like, yeah. They're all the same.
Yeah, and they're so accurate, too. It is pretty wild. Like, I found myself watching Hallmark films now and being like, oh, I could see how that can be diluted down to a minute. And you do it so well. And, you know, that kind of spawned the Nameless Best Friend podcast, which is also very funny. So talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, I run it with my mom and my brother. My mom is here in Palm Springs. My brother's in Paris, but we figure out the time zones and make it work. We're all artists. He's a musician. She's a writer. I'm a writer. So we don't have like day jobs to accommodate. And It's so fun. We watch Hallmark movies, but we also watch classics. And we've gotten so many good guests on. Like we've got Sophie Cousins coming up, and we've got Blythe Robertson was recently on. We've had amazing authors come on. We just basically put on. We have Harriet Kemsley, the British comedian, coming on, which I can't wait to do that. And we basically just put on something, and anything that's going to be a laugh to talk about. So like we're covering The Grinch Stole Christmas. We're going to cover those stop motion Christmas movies. Yeah. You know, Rudolph and everything. And it's really fun. We've watched it. Last year and the year before, we watched every countdown to Christmas movie on Hallmark, which was too many because not even the actors know how many there are. And we were like, we can't watch 6 in a weekend and then record them. But now we're just doing like all the best ones to talk about. It's so fun.
I love that. Have you had anybody reach out to you, any studios or producers reach out to you to like be in a Hallmark movie yet? Because I think that's like next year.
No. Hallmark has completely ignored my existence for 3 full years. It's like, I even wrote to them this year and I was like, hi, I've amassed like 30 million views on Hallmark videos. Send me and my mom on your cruise. And they were like, okay, we passed it along. And I'm like, okay, that's the first time they've ever even answered me. They don't like respond in comments. They don't do anything. They're not interested in me.
I think you've like made their content famous personally. But you know, beyond everything else you do, your book is finally out, The Other Side of Now. How's that been received? There it is, right there. Yeah.
It's yeah, the other side of now. It's actually what's so fun is that my team and I were talking recently. We were like, you know what? It's kind of a Christmas story without being not the Christmas story, but it's like it's kind of a Christmas story without being set in the holidays. Although it is technically a Christmas book because there's a Christmas scene, but it's kind of the holiday meets sliding doors. It's about a girl who books an Airbnb in a tiny little village in Ireland, and when she gets there, she finds herself in the life she would have lived if she'd made a different choice.
Sure.
And in that life, her best friend is alive, and at home she's not. So it's I mean, it feels like watching the coziest Christmas movie ever,
Yeah.
partially because in my mind I set it in the cottage from the holidays.
Yeah, of course.
So
There's
it's
no
a
better
really,
movie. Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's like the perfect time of year to read it. But and it's also about best friends. So
Yeah.
genuinely, this is such a good present for best friend. I sound very salesy. I'm not trying to. It just really is a really good present for a best friend because it's kind of all about like not knowing how to say that you
Yeah.
care and finding a way to do it anyway. And I think giving a book that's about friendship is a nice way to do that. But it has
Absolutely.
been received really, really well. It was
That's
a book
great.
of the month add-on, and I was shocked by how high the reviews are because my young adult books that I wrote when I was a teenager were more polarizing, as they say. There was more talk of unlikable characters then, but no, people have loved it, and I've had a lot of people reach out to me because they have lost friends and things like that. And I don't know, it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed the people I've gotten to talk to because of it.
Yeah, and you know, it sounds like Hallmark should just pick that one up. I would love to see this book made into a film. It sounds great. I can't wait to read it myself. I just ordered a copy. So, but thank you so much, dude, for doing this again, and I appreciate it. And hopefully, we'll have you back on soon. Thank you so much, Paige.
Anytime.
Thank you very much
so much, Tristan. Bye.
For more information, you can visit PaigeHarbison.com, and we'll have all those details posted at OurQuadCities.com. More Living Local continues after the break. Stay with us.